rally in Ohio tonight. State, remember, he won, I think, by 8 points. So a lot of people said he wasn't going to win it, and he ends up winning it by 8 points. This, as a Gallup poll shows, that his base remains quite loyal. Democrats are obviously aware that being opposed can only get you so far, so hence a new economic agenda that has a lot of Trump-like themes. Bottom line, who's going to get the better of all of this? Democratic strategist Richard Goodstein, campusreform.org media director Cabot Phillips. Cabot, I hate to put it in such crass terms, but the president thinks he has the upper hand in this. What do you think?
Well, it is interesting to see the Democrats try to highlight a lot of the populist ideals that President Trump took to get those Youngstown voters, as he's calling them, for his rally tonight. And it is funny to see how they're portraying this better deal as a deal that's going to bring the Democrat Party into the future. It's their next generation ideas. Really, they're the same old recycled big government ideas we've seen in the past that have caused Democrats to lose elections in the first place. And people in my generation, specifically millennials, the largest voting bloc in America now, they don't see any new ideas. They don't see any new leaders. And I think the Democrat Party is really having an identity crisis right now. They're not unified. They don't know which direction to go. And I think that's evident when we see the proposal they put forth yesterday.
And in the money they're raising. And, Richard, that part surprised me, because you would think that, given the unpopularity, a lot of the measures and the actions Republicans have taken, maybe not taken, more the word, the Democrats would be romping here, and they're not. What's going on?
Well, you know, when you're in the minority, Neil, in the House, the Senate, when you don't have the White House, fundraising is not the easiest thing. But I will tell you, nobody should kind of cry the blues for the Democrats. Look at Trump's historic unpopularity. The last ABC Washington Post poll, who do you want to control Congress after the 2018 elections? Democrats 52, Republicans 38. And among independents, Trump was down, the Republicans were down 14. The Trump agenda is not exactly moving forward like a steamroller. These 4 midterms, frankly, the margins were much, much closer in ruby red districts, that if that holds in the 2018 elections, it does not spell good times for the Republicans. So I don't totally disagree with what Cabot said about this better deal agenda. It is somewhat of a putting everything together that Democrats have run on. It's not cherry picking from Trump, though. I mean, let's not kid ourselves.
All right, well, so you might be right. Cabot, one of the things that does come up is there is a little bit of what Richard says about the president being still very unpopular in polls, very popular with his base, but that only gets you so far, hence this sort of conundrum Republicans are in, just to rely on rigid unity among everybody in the party to get anything done. What do you make of that, and how crucial this procedural vote is later on? For example, if Republicans reject it, then what?
Well, in that same ABC poll that Richard mentioned, that also found that the #1 thing Americans associate with the Democrat Party, 52% of people, the #1 thing they associate with Democrats is only being anti-Trump, not an actual policy. So that's going to be a problem moving forward for Democrats. They don't actually talk about issues instead of just being anti-Trump. As far as Republicans' base go, you're right, that's holding them up right now. I think that if they don't go to a vote tonight, the base needs a vote on this health care plan so they can see who's keeping their word, who's actually putting forth, a vote to repeal this plan that they got elected on promising they were going to repeal. So I think if this doesn't go to vote, the base might start to get even angrier and not just hold up, this entire support for Trump and for the Republicans
Real
as a
quickly,
whole.
Richard, I mean, we did see Chuck Schumer yesterday talk about the fact that Republicans lost essentially because of Hillary Clinton, that their message didn't resonate. I'm paraphrasing here. It's the first time I heard of someone in such prominence in the party acknowledge that Russia didn't play a role there, that this was really on them.
Yeah.
Now that sort of says one thing about Hillary Clinton, but it also begs the question, who is going to be that person to speak for the Democratic Party or to be that voice? I mean, a lot of those themes seem to be Bernie Sanders themes. What do you make of that?
So when you're in the party, it's obviously hard to have a spokesperson. I think Chuck Schumer, frankly, is that person. Incidentally, if you had Chuck Schumer on your air, did Russia make a difference? Did the Comey letter make a difference? You bet you it did. If it was a 10,000 vote margin in Wisconsin, et cetera. By all accounts, those things made a big difference. But he was critical in a way that I think
he didn't say that. He said they lost not because of any of that.
Now, Hillary would have been self-critical if she was on your air, too, that I think if she had to do all over again, she would have talked about economic issues in a way that she didn't. But again, I think the fact of the matter is, who would you rather be now going into the 2018 elections? Donald Trump is not going to win re-election, I can tell you that, with his base, with 36%, or frankly, 46%, which is what he got last time, in a two-way race. He's just not going to win.
But you guys are so good at imploding, right? I mean, that's what they're counting on, right?
Well, but still, the fact of the matter is, again, he got at his max 46. All right, that's not a winning number.
All right. A lot of
Still
numbers
enough to
here,
beat
guys.
Hillary.
I know it's a business show, but for goodness sake.
Sorry.
Richard Cabot, seriously, thank you both. All right, senators are meeting right now again to discuss their strategy and this big vote. I think a little more than an hour away, maybe less. Adam Shapiro with the latest on what that count could look like. Hey, Adam.
And it looks like this could pass. Fox Business has been told that Senator Heller from Nevada is actually going to vote yes to get on the bill. But let's talk about what that means. It's actually a vote to proceed, a motion to proceed to debate on the House's version of health care reform. And then there'll be all kinds of amendments. And then we heard from Rand Paul this morning that he's going to vote yes to proceed because he's been told by Republican leadership that there will be an amendment for a full outright appeal. If that fails, then there'll be more amendments. But here's what Leader Mitch McConnell said earlier today about why they need to act.
I hope everyone will seize the moment. I certainly will. Only then can we open a robust debate process. Only then will senators have the opportunity to offer additional ideas on health care. Inaction will do nothing to solve Obamacare's problems.
And here is one thing I want you to know is that the president tweeted early this morning and he said, big day for health care. After 7 years of talking, we will soon see whether or not Republicans are willing to step up to the plate. This is a big deal, a big day. And Neil, you can't underestimate how close this vote could be just to proceed to debate.
Just to proceed to debate. All right, thank you very much, Adam Shapiro. So again, this motion to proceed, and that's all it is, will allow Republicans the opportunity, if it were to pass, to fight another day. It is technical in nature, but it is sweeping in implications here because a no vote effectively quashes any effort on the part of Republicans to move forward, at least immediately. Now, you heard from Senator Chuck Grassley, who said that they would still address this because health care itself is imploding and they got to do something, especially in case of Senator Grassley in Iowa, where those health exchanges are shutting down faster than me going to a fruit and veggie buffet. But the fact of the matter is they're running out of options, they're running out of time, and a procedural vote here that allows them to fight another day gives them time. Now, Democrats say time to screw up. Republicans say time to get it right. We'll see after this.